The next thing I want to talk about is respect. And I'm not talking about like, oh, respect me, I have respect for him. I'm talking about respect toward people who are in fields of wrong livelihood, who are not in right livelihood. I constantly hear all these terms of endearment and respect. Oh, thank you to our military for your service. Thank you to the police for keeping people safe. Thank you to the bankers for running the economy. Thank you to the media for telling people the news. All this undeserved respect for people who are just immoral trash. I don't care who I'm offending by saying that. You deserve to be offended if you don't acknowledge and understand that what I said there is true. That people in these positions, people, oh, so much respect. Oh, he graduated from medical school. You know, how much, oh, we should have a big party, so much respect. You're basically going to be contributing to the degradation of human health, because that's what doctors do. I don't give a fuck what you think about that or what you have to say about it. I don't care. It's true, whether you acknowledge it or believe it or think that it's true or not. You don't understand what's going on. You don't. People think they do and think that these people are helping, but they don't understand how controlled this dynamic is. They don't understand who's making the real top level decisions, and they don't understand that they're fucking Satanists. There are people who are psychopaths who only give a rat's ass about themselves and the money that they make and the power that it affords them. That's it. Think these doctors and lawyers and politicians give a shit about you? They don't care about you at fucking all. Not even in the tiniest little sense of the word. They don't care about you at all. They care about power and wealth and nothing else. And only things that the trust that they care about is what can lead to that power and wealth. That's the only form of trust with their patient relationship they care about. They want to hook you and get you on board with you believing that they care about you. That's what all their behavior is designed to do. That's what a fucking psychopath gears all their behavior to do. And you can't tell anybody this, people. They'll despise you for wanting to tell them because they know better. They know better. Well, guess what? Keep doing what you're doing and fuck yourself up, motherfucker. That's what I have to say. Keep doing the nonsense shit that you're doing and get more fucked up. Because you ain't going to learn by words. You're going to learn by being hurt. That's how you're going to learn. You got to hurt yourself worse. So go and take the fucking poison and listen to the people who are the psychopathic jerk-offs telling you that they know what's best for you and your body when they're not telling you anything about nutrition. They're not telling you anything about mind control. They're not telling you anything about what's really going in the world's power structure. They know nothing about the occult. They know nothing about how things really work. And then jerk-offs like this have the hubris to like post placards in their offices saying, your Google search is not the equivalent of my medical degree. No, you're right. It's not. It's very superior to it, asshole. It's very superior to it, smacked fucking asshole. Okay? Very superior to it. Because people can do a wide variety of eclectic research, cross-comparing different things that you're not doing for the safety and well-being of your patients. Because all you give a fuck about is the two Lexuses in your 4-car family garage. That's all you give a rat fuck about. And when it comes to respect, this is the dynamic I'm talking about, people. You still have respect for people like this. Or a whole lot of people walking out on the street do. A whole lot of people in my family and friends group do. No good things should be being said about these people. There's no redeeming qualities in them. They're not good people. They're not good people for the very ignorance that they dwell in. This is what you got to understand. Stupid people are bad people. They're not holistically intelligent, nor are most people in the world. That's why the world is filled with bad people. They don't have it right. They don't have the answers. They haven't done the research. They haven't done the homework. They haven't come to the truth. And because they're so ignorant, that's what makes them make bad decisions and therefore become immoral, bad people. Ignorant people are bad people. I don't want to hear make excuses for them because they're bad. God forgive them because they know not what they do. Fuck that. That's bullshit. We should be harder on the ignorant because the ignorant are doing tasks in their wrongness about what they think they understand that are hurting other people. So yeah, you're damn right. My search engine search isn't the equivalent of your asshole Rockefeller and Rothschild Foundation fucking funded medical degree that is poisoning people. Where your only product is drugs, pharmaceuticals, and surgery that you want to sell people on to get rich and keep yourself in the position of power that you're in because you're an egoic prick. Nobody should have respect for these people. Respect for the police, respect for soldiers. You order following trash that they are. People who have given up their own moral decision-making capacities to go and follow other people's fucking orders. Have respect for that? You're a piece of trash. A piece of fucking trash. I'm done. I'm done, people. I'm done. If you can't tell, I'm done. If you can't tell. I've been doing this shit too long. Too long. Burned out on it. Tired of it. Tired of other people's fucking moronic ignorance. And trying to put out the idea that they know something. You don't know squat is what you know. And here's the thing. The people who actually do know are staying too damn silent and not making this a confrontative thing between people. And telling them how much their head's up their ass. And how much they don't know and how wrong they are. Until it's so uncomfortable that they find that their ego breaks and they do look at it. That is nowhere near and has never been tried. And has never been tried. And has never been tried. Okay? People want to say, oh, that wouldn't work. You don't know the first fucking thing about whether that would work. Because you never fucking tried it. And it's certainly never been tried on a mass scale. And that's why I'm aggravated with the condition of humanity. 12 years on doing this bullshit? When the world's in a far worse state than the day I fucking started? Because people don't want to get involved and open their damn mouth because they're too cowardly? Yeah, I'm going to be bitter and harsh about it. How about so harsh? Shut the fucking show off and go out into the world and do something. Don't watch my stream. Don't watch the show. Go do something. Go get people out. Change their mind. Hammer on their mind till they quit their job if they're in wrong livelihood. Don't leave them alone about it. Sever your relationship with them. Say, if you don't quit, I'm done with you as a person. Yeah, that's called the sword that needs to be brought to the earth to divide people against each other. Make no mistake, I'm trying to bring people together in the spirit of the truth. But if they don't dwell in the spirit of the truth, we have to be willing to cut those people out of our lives and say, if you're going to do this, you're going to do it on your own with no support from me. How many jackass order followers' wives and mothers will say that to them, or sisters or brothers? No, because they're such cowardly chicken shit pieces of dirt. Patty Lager, you're live on What on Earth is Happening. Welcome, my friend.
Hello, Mark. How are you today? Well, I know that how you are. You're incredibly passionate, and I truly appreciate it. And you, honestly, I speak for myself here, but you give me so much strength through your passion, because this is the type of voice we all need to have. We have to say no to this insanity.
The most powerful word of all time in the whole universe is the word no. So somebody actually just sent me, it's very synchronistic, Patty, that you would mention the lost word. And somebody actually just sent me an email. I'm not going to bother. It's not worth mentioning their name. They probably want to remain anonymous anyway. And I wouldn't even bother to care to mention their name. But they actually said, like, you need to get out of the idea of using the word no. You should never say the word no. And just think about that. They just used the concept of negation to tell me that I should not use the word no. Just think about the contradiction right there, okay? But they're saying you should try to frame everything in the affirmative and then positive and never tell anybody no. It's like the colossal ignorance of the world of the occult is what I'm saying. This comes from the pure, polluted New Age garbage stream that's out there of what spirituality is, that people have bought onto. They've bought into and believe it as a religion, like with religious fervor. They believe these nonsensical ideas that are coming at them from happy flower land. Whoa, remember the Simpsons thing where he's talking to Homer's talking to Marge in the bedroom? I got to play it. And said that this is the New Ager. He goes, look at me. I'm the magical man from Happy Land. I live in a gingerbread house on Gumdrop Lane. You know, I got to play that quote on What on Earth Is Happening one day. Because this is how the New Age people, this is how they see the world. This is the naive children that they are inside in their psychology. Like they're stunted, emotionally and spiritually stunted children that never grew up and became an actual adult in their mindset. And then they're saying other people should take the same naive approach to life that they're taking that has led exactly where? Oh, that's right, to a total enslaved society. The worst free speech is now being shut down. That's where the New Age has gotten us. The New Age hasn't solved this problem. Not a bit. The lost word would solve it, though. I can guarantee you that. And guess what? If the lost word isn't respected, we may have to use the last word to solve the problem. And that won't solve it. That'll extend it. You know, and I want it not to have to come down to that. But guess what? Another thing we got to talk about again on this show, in addition to the lost word is one of them, what religion really is, these ideas are still not grounded. They're not grounded in people's mentality. I know people like yourself understand them, Patty, and I'm going to let you get back to it in a minute, and you could take some time. But it's like we need to revisit some things. We need to revisit religion. We need to revisit taking your power through saying no. We need to revisit New Age bullshit, you know, again. You know, people really have to deeply understand what the real occult spirituality is, because they're buying into these notions of we should never get angry, we should never say no. Teaching through negation and saying what not to do is somehow the wrong way of doing it. It's just such a babyish, naive approach to life and reality and real spirituality that I don't understand how there's so much information in the world about the falseness of these narratives that people still never encounter the truth regarding what is really taking place. There's just so much poison signal. That's the problem. They're still in the poison stream of taking in poisoned information and false spirituality. So very synchronistic that you would say that the real answer is to say no. Quitting an immoral job is a form of using the lost word no. It's saying no, I will not cooperate with evil anymore. I will not cooperate with the control system. I will not cooperate with something that is doing harm to other beings. No, I am stopping. I am not going to continue any further.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And it's like what you said earlier, you know, this is all part of how they control us. When you mentioned Jeremy Locke's book, it's all about control. And you know, where I see this, where I'm coming from, I was, like one of your previous callers today, I was on an educational path that was going to send me into a very dark place. And I could see it, and I could feel what they were doing. And I was in medicine. You know, I almost completed my allopathic medical training. And when I saw what was being done, I had to get out of it. I'm like, I cannot treat people with these pharmaceutical suppressing drugs. And then the big push for vaccinations came, and I remember they were really pushing me to get the flu vaccine. I'm like, what the hell? The flu is not even that dangerous. Why do I
Right.
need to be vaccinated against this? And the more I saw, and then I started a PhD program in immunology because I thought, well, maybe if I get out of medicine, I can really understand why they're pushing these vaccines by getting a PhD in immunology. And there I was, and all of those people that had PhDs behind their name and they're going into this research, they're pushing these vaccines like they're some glorious type of, you know, thing that's going to save humanity. And all I could see was that it's suppressing us.
It's a huge
And these
part of their
vaccines,
income as well when they resell those vaccines to people.
well, it's harming us
Yeah,
more than anything.
that's
It's
right.
creating a society of idiots. It's creating a society of, I really think people are more dumb after having been vaccinated.
Of course.
I can't
It's
understand.
shown that it will lower IQ, and it's responsible for all of the emerging autoimmune diseases that we're seeing. Probably diabetes, certainly autism. I mean, autism is just a word for vaccine damage. It's
Yeah, yeah.
that's an invented word, folks. If you don't understand that, the medical industry actually invented the word autism because they're seeing all the different types of vaccine damage that was occurring and was emerging, and they needed a blanket term to talk about all of them as one umbrella term, and so they came up with the word autism as this quote disease, but really all they're really talking about in the medical industry when they use the word autism is various forms of vaccination damage that occurs to people when they take vaccines.
It is. And so I switched to a naturopathic program, and now I'm a naturopathic doctor. And I'm not licensed. I don't want to be restricted in that way.
Right.
I've had 3 clients in a short period of time, all who have had children that were vaccine damaged. And one, it breaks my heart. This little boy, he was so inflamed by this vaccine at the age of 3. And by the way, they were all the MMR vaccines, all 3 of these cases. Shortly after, their beautiful, vibrant children shut down. They're in so much pain. The pain is overwhelming. They can't speak. They're hitting their heads against the walls. I mean, families' lives are disrupted. This one man, his family was in India. He was working in Japan to support his family. He had to leave his job because his family was going to be kicked out of their small apartment because their son was hitting their head against the wall constantly.
Oh my God.
And it's just, this is what they're doing to these children. And so I can't support this. And if there's just 0.5% that this could happen, these vaccines are dangerous.
Can you believe not only in the medical industry, but in the average population, there are still people that do not want to tell the truth and accept the truth that all of these vaccines are damaging children in these capacities. I can't believe people are still in that level of denial. We're not even at the point where we're acknowledging the problem or the origin of the problem. We're still in a place of total denial as a society regarding this stuff. And it's because people haven't done the research. They haven't really deeply and eclectically looked into it. And they want to believe people who have a vested interest in keeping the status quo the way that it is because they make a tremendous amount of money through these established industries. And I don't understand. How can people not understand that? How could you not understand this person's receiving an enormous amount of money from doing this behavior? Why would you believe that the person would look at the truth and go, oh, you know what? That's true, but I got to give up $12 million a year salary to go back to making maybe $30,000 a year if I quit this job and take something else. There's one person in, I'd say, 10 million. We're not even looking at a 1 in a million ratio. One person in that position in 10 million is going to have a moral core of themselves. When that knowledge reaches them, they're going to say, I must quit this job. 1 in 10 million is the number that I think it's about at. That's the ratio. Okay? So I'm not like naive thinking people are going to hear Mark Passio's words and then there's going to be a mass exodus from the police and military. I get it. I get how deeply entrenched and owned by the ego people are. One of the quotes that I see going around in a meme on social media by me is, It isn't so much that everybody has an ego, it's that the ego has everyone. That's one of my favorite quotes that I've said, because it's true. Everybody is owned by the ego. You know, it's this force that just owns people and their lives and their behavior, and they can't break free from it. They're not spiritually strong enough to break that trance, to get out of its thrall. You know, they're like a puppet on a string, and the ego is just pulling those strings and making them dance. And they can't be honest with themselves enough and then to do the shadow work, the occult shadow work, to deal with it.